Calaroga Shark Media.
Welcome to Ballot, where politics meets the pavement, quite literally, in this episode. Donald Trump, not just content with dominating headlines for his legal entanglements and political rallies, has now ventured into fashion with a sneaker line that's as gold as his infamous tower. Meanwhile, Nikki Haley, once the beacon of hope for some within the GOP, faces the hard truths of a campaign struggling to outshine the Trump spectacle. Sit tight as we lace up for a deep dive into Trump's sneaker saga, Haley's South Carolina showdown, and everything in between. It's not just about who has the best policy anymore. It's about who has the best kicks on the campaign trail. Just a year after delivering his "I am your retribution" manifesto at CPAC, Donald Trump took the stage this Saturday with a twist on his usual theme of political payback, opting for a less confrontational tone than his previous calls for retaliation. Instead of plotting to punish his adversaries, Trump outlined a vision of victory where liberty and national triumph serve as the sweetest form of revenge. Your liberty will be our ultimate reward, and the unprecedented success of the United States of America will be my ultimate and absolute revenge, he declared, aiming for success over spite. That's what I want. Success will be our revenge. While Trump may have softened his stance, painting a picture of revenge through prosperity rather than punishment, others at CPAC stayed true to a more traditional battle cry. Tom Fitton, the head honcho of Judicial Watch, didn't hold back, turning up the heat with a call to arms against the establishment. If the regime is going to change the rules so Trump can be prosecuted, former President Obama must be prosecuted, Fitton argued, stirring up a storm of "lock him up" chants from the crowd. In a speech that seemed ripped from the pages of a dystopian novel, Donald Trump painted a bleak picture of America's future should Joe Biden secure a second term. With the flair of a Hollywood villain, Trump spun a narrative filled with constant blackouts and rampant inflation, forecasting a surge in illegal border crossings and foreign policy blunders that, in his view, could catapult us into World War III. Channeling his inner soothsayer, Trump warned, "If crooked Joe Biden and his thugs win in 2024, the worst is yet to come. Our country will go and sink to levels that were unimaginable." It's as if he's auditioning for the lead role in a tragedy where America is the damsel in distress. And he, of course, is the knight in shining armor, or in his case, a tailored suit. He positioned the upcoming election as a battle for the soul of the nation, casting himself as the lone warrior standing between America and its obliteration. In Trump's grand cinematic universe, casting your vote for him isn't just participating in democracy, it's buying a ticket back to freedom. One can almost hear the dramatic score swell as he delivers his line, promising to save the day from the imagined horrors of a Biden sequel. Biden's campaign didn't miss a beat in responding to Trump's doomsday predictions with a hefty dose of reality and a sprinkle of sass. Labeling Trump's comments as bizarre, Biden campaign spokesman Amar Moussa said, "Donald Trump is a loser. Under his presidency, America lost more jobs than any president in modern history. Women in more than 20 states have lost the freedom to make their own healthcare decisions because Trump overturned Roe. And the MAGA wing of the Republican Party lost their damn minds putting Trump's quest for power over our democracy," declared Biden campaign spokesman Amar Moussa. Nikki Haley did not hold back when she dubbed Donald Trump's recent remarks about black voters disgusting. It seems Trump, at the Black Conservative Federation Gala in Columbia, South Carolina, tried to turn the spotlight on himself with some choice words, suggesting black voters are flocking to his side due to his numerous criminal indictments. He quipped, "Black people are so much on my side now because they see what's happening to me happens to them. Does that make sense?" As if his legal woes are somehow a bonding experience. Trump's attempt at camaraderie didn't stop there. He claimed his mugshot was now a beloved image among black voters, and even joked about being able to spot black people in the audience solely because of the glaring stage lights. "I'm being indicted for you, the American people. I'm being indicted for you, the black population. I am being indicted for a lot of different groups by sick people. These are sick people. I got indicted for nothing for something that is nothing," Trump told the crowd. And a lot of people said that's why the black people like me, because they have been hurt so badly and discriminated against, and they actually viewed me as I'm being discriminated against. It's been pretty amazing, but possibly, maybe, there's something there. My mugshot. We've all seen the mugshot, and you know who embraced it more than anybody else? The black population, Trump said. You see black people walking around with my mugshot? You know, they do shirts and they sell them for $19 a piece. It's pretty amazing. Millions, by the way. In his speech, Trump also accused Joe Biden of being racist. Joe Biden really has proven to be a nasty and vicious racist, Trump said. He has been a racist. Whether you like it or don't like it, most of the people in this room happen to not like it. Nikki Haley, fresh from casting her vote in the South Carolina primary, offered a reality check to anyone within earshot, labeling Trump's gala performance as a huge warning sign for the GOP's future. It's disgusting, but that's what happens when he goes off the teleprompter, Haley remarked, capturing the essence of Trump's unscripted chaos. She didn't mince words, adding, "That's the chaos that comes with Donald Trump. That's the offensiveness that's going to happen every day between now and the general election, which is why I continue to say Donald Trump cannot win a general election. He won't." In USA Today, Mike Freeman writes, "I don't speak for Black America and suspect the list of candidates that potentially could is short. Barack Obama, Oprah, my mom, that's about it. However, I feel highly comfortable speaking for Black America when I say this. Large numbers of Black Americans are not going to suddenly support Donald Trump because of his new sneakers. Now you read that sentence and thought, yeah, Mike, no kidding. Why would you even bring this up, dummy? Well, I didn't, but a Fox News contributor did. And his remarks are so gloriously, remarkably, unbelievably, staggeringly dumb that I thought it was a joke. But nope, he meant it. He actually meant it. I was on social media last night," the contributor said. The second those words came out of his mouth, it was clear things were going awry. "Very interesting. As you see black support eroding from Joe Biden," he said. "This is the shoes connecting with Black America because they're into sneakers. They love sneakers. This is a big deal. Certainly in the inner city." "Well, certainly in the inner city, yes, sir. Because those inner city black folks love them sneakers. The suburban black folks? Not so much. Us suburban black people love loafers. However, when us suburban folks venture into the city, we do change into our sneakers. So maybe he has a point. Also, does anyone have a phone number for the congressman to the inner city? I want to fact check all of this. So when you have Trump roll out his sneaker line," he continued, "they're like, wait a minute, this is cool." Who is they exactly? I don't think many people in Black America looked at those gold monstrosities and said, "This is cool." Plus, people in the inner city don't say cool. They say fly. Wait, that's from the 80s. They say smokin'. Wait, that's from the 90s. They say on fleek. Wait, that's the 2000s. I'll get back to you on this. Gotta check with some inner city sources. He's reaching them on a level that defies and is above politics, he said. Who is them, exactly? This has strong you people vibes. The culture always trumps politics, he said. And Trump understands culture like no other politician I've ever seen. Hold on, Trump is the culture now? Which culture? Like the Aryan one? This wildly racist and just plain odd stance that black people are so dumb and so easily swayed that large swaths of black voters would back Trump simply because he rolled out the worst shoes ever invented. Reminds me of when right-wing politicians and analysts said after Trump was booked in Georgia for one of his Googleplex of criminal cases that Trump's mugshot would make him more popular with black Americans. The reasoning for that is because black people identify with criminals more, I guess? Though I have to say The Wire is an excellent show. Radio personality Charlemagne the God recently critiqued the same Fox News commentator, Raymond Arroyo, for suggesting that Donald Trump's foray into sneaker sales could sway black voters towards him. Charlemagne responded on his show, asserting, "We are a very unserious country, y'all. Trump understands the culture better than any politician currently. Not black culture, though, entertainment culture." He criticized the oversimplification of black voters' priorities, emphasizing that their support hinges on substantial offers of financial stability, police reform, and social progress, rather than cultural gestures like sneaker lines. Black folks aren't leaving the Democratic Party because they're supporting Trump. They will be won over when you offer them something that will provide them upward mobility in this country. It's simple. We'll check in on the South Carolina primary after this. Nikki Haley, once radiating confidence, approached the podium with a gravity that hinted she might be on the cusp of bowing out of the Republican nomination race. Her demeanor was a stark departure from the optimism she projected after her New Hampshire performance. Our country will fall apart if we make the wrong choices. This has never been about me or my political future. We need to beat Joe Biden in November, she solemnly declared, leaving her audience in suspense. Then the pivot. I don't believe Donald Trump can beat Joe Biden. This statement marked a significant shift from January 23rd, when Haley, despite securing only 43% of the vote in New Hampshire, spun her result as a quasi-victory and expressed determination to triumph over Trump in South Carolina. Despite her resolve to remain in the race, her spirit now seemed fueled more by gritty determination than outright optimism. Trump, for his part, offered his own kind of corrective. His victory lap in New Hampshire had all the subtlety of a WWE SmackDown, complete with jabs at Haley's expense. Yet, in Columbia, he refrained from even uttering Haley's name, opting instead to focus on gratitude towards his supporters, only veering close to an insult when introducing Senator Lindsey Graham by quipping about his slightly more moderate stance. Haley, more grounded in reality than in New Hampshire, acknowledged her South Carolina performance with a nod to hard truths, even if those truths didn't lead to her exit from the race. I'm an accountant. I know 40% is not 50%, she admitted to her supporters, but I also know 40% is not some tiny group. While Trump's victory lap in South Carolina was more of a leisurely stroll given his hefty lead in the polls, the final delegate tally for Nikki Haley still hangs in the balance. CNN's late-night prediction handed Haley a win in the state's first congressional district, snagging her 3 delegates. While not exactly a game-changer, it does offer a glimmer into the Trump train's journey ahead. As we hit the accelerator and leave the early voting states in the rearview mirror, the GOP primary race is now a full-blown national saga. With a hefty chunk of delegates up for grabs in the coming weeks, Haley's second-place ribbons won't cut it in a winner-takes-all showdown. Trump's South Carolina success isn't just a notch on his belt. It's a testament to his iron grip on the GOP, a party that's seemingly morphed from a traditional conservative ensemble to a one-man show starring Trump himself. Even Haley, who once rode the Tea Party wave as a conservative crusader, now finds herself cast in the role of the establishment candidate. So what's next on Haley's itinerary? With Michigan, Minnesota, Colorado, and Utah in her sights, and Super Tuesday looming, she's not throwing in the towel just yet. Her campaign's battle cry for a real choice echoes in the aftermath of South Carolina. But whether she can pivot from underdog to top dog in the delegate dash remains to be seen. As for the GOP electorate's appetite for a Haley-led ticket, while her general election matchups might paint a rosier picture, the primary path is cluttered with Trump loyalists and a Republican base seemingly immune to her appeals for change. And let's not overlook Senator Tim Scott's Veep-stakes cameo. His recent buddy act with Trump could be the ultimate audition for a spot on the 2024 ticket, proving that in politics, sometimes the best way to win the race is to join the frontrunners team. And that's a wrap on today's episode of Ballot. From Trump's golden sneakers to Haley's steadfast resolve in South Carolina, it's clear the road to the GOP nomination is anything but conventional. Whether these political maneuvers will pay off in votes remains to be seen. But one thing is for sure. The 2024 presidential race is shaping up to be a battle of not just ideologies, but of cultural influence and personal brand power. Don't forget to hit follow to keep up with all the twists and turns on the campaign trail. Until next time, keep your sneakers tied tight and your political insights sharper. This has been Ballot, where politics and pop culture collide.